Facebook group and just make a
Okay, cool.
reminder.
Welcome, welcome. So we are going to present out how to do a glow workshop. And guys, if you've ever been to an event, a party, anything like that, no matter if it's been a long time ago or yesterday, that's really how the virtual glow workshop came to be. When we first came in here, our team heard everyone talking about, yeah, we're doing these glow workshops, and we kind of started looking into it, and we realized we were all across the country. And so we're like, well, how can we do this virtually? And how can we do this so we can get a lot of people on a Zoom and also just give everyone the power of presentation? So actually, our upline, Melissa, and I collaborated, we got together and we created a slideshow that we share with your guests when you invite them. So here's the power of what we're doing. All you have to do is share the link and invite people. Karen's going to talk about the power of invitation. And definitely I can hop in there too. But what we want to do is you to know that if you're not inviting people, if you're just kind of flowing everything out there, then, like sticking it on your page, sending it here, like, oh, I posted it on my Facebook page. Um, it's not going to work. We call that posting and praying, and it's not the way to build an organization. So Karen, I'm going to kick it over to you to talk about invite, and then I'll go into sharing the presentation with them and giving them some tips on how to get people to engage during the presentation.
Awesome. So what Mary just said is so important. I remember back in the early days, the invitation was twofold. We would call people and then we would send a postcard in the mail to remind them. The people who had the best attendance were the ones who did both. The ones who just sent the postcard in the mail would always say, oh, I can't believe I sent out 50 postcards and only 2 people showed up. Probably the host's 2 best friends are the 2 ones that showed up, the ones that she actually talked to. And so as we learn through the power of invitation, even more so today because people are bombarded with direct messages, Facebook Messenger, emails, all text messages, all the things that they get overwhelmed and they're going to forget. So one of the things that we have embraced when we're doing these glow workshops is, first of all, you don't have to give people 2 weeks notice. We have found that 3 or 4 days is about right. And then it's remind, 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 remind. You feel like a broken record. You're going to remind them the day before, you're going to remind them a couple hours before, you're going to remind them an hour before, and you're going to remind them just a few minutes. Okay, no problem, Janet. We're glad you're here. And Julie, I'm so sad you're not feeling well still. And so the power of your voice, that is the biggest tool that you have when it comes to inviting. Your voice, your inflection, your excitement, your enthusiasm is way more important than what words you actually choose, right? So you could chat GPT all day long, send me the best way to invite people. But if you use your voice and your enthusiasm, you're going to get much further. So whenever possible, use your voice. And then, like I said, the power of invitation is what's in it for them.
Yeah.
Not come to my party because I need you, right? I need people to show up, please. There's no begging, but what's in it for them? So write out your own little verbiage. This is for you if you're concerned about your skincare, if you're really excited about organic products, if it's important to you to have really clean products that you're using, if you're looking for some great collagen or ingestible hyaluronic acid, here's what it can do for you. You need to come hear more about it. So always come from the place of what's in it for them, and you'll have a lot more success. And then, like I said, because of today's crazy world that we live in, you have to remind. Like I just went in the Facebook group and said, hey guys, we're on. And so that is the same kind of methodology. Melanie says, I know life can get busy. Are you okay with me sending you a couple reminders? Great. That's great, Melanie. Awesome.
Awesome.
Back to you, Mary Hoff.
Awesome. Thank you, Karen. Hold on. Karen, am I still showing you or am I popping up? Sorry. There we go. Speaker. There, let me see if nope, it's not doing it on my end. Maybe it's just me, but I'm going to go to gallery just so you guys can see me. All right. So, Karen, everything you said, like little things were sparking into my brain as if I were a student of yours, which I am, and I were writing down my notes. Here's what my notes were. Personal is positive. Karen pointed this out again and again. The more personal you are, the more positive experience it will be for the person that you're reaching out to, right? When someone reaches out to me and they say something like, I thought of you, I think you're really going to love this skincare. And then you even put in I'm going to give you this to Google. This is homework, the VAP, the value added proposition. It is what sales organizations have been doing with products forever. And I'm going to give you the definition right now. A value proposition is a clear statement that explains how a product or service solves a problem or satisfies a need for a customer and why it's better than the competition. Figure out what that is for you and then include that in your personal invitation. Hey, I believe in this product. I know that it is better because we're waterless and more people are getting better results. I thought of you. I would love for you to be on this call with me. That is so powerful when you put that person, their image of who they are. And I'm going to tell you this, guys, make a freaking list, right? Stop going. I'm like, oh, I'm scrolling through my phone. It's 2 days before. Who am I inviting? Sit down and really manifest who it is you want to be at this event with you. Who do you want to hear about this skincare? Who likes to be pretty? Everyone. So like, just think about those type of things and write down your list and then be intentional, right? With that intention is going to come the presentation, right? Everyone likes to know what they're getting into when they show up to an event. No one likes surprises, right? And one of the things that I learned in doing over 80 events in 1 year for one company, and I used to do a presentation 5 days a week for another company, an opportunity presentation. Every single day we did an opportunity presentation as a corporate employee. That was a lot of fun. Not at all. But what I did learn is that when people invited to that invitation, they knew what they were going to get. So we just want to show you tonight an example of what it is that you are going to get when you attend a Glow workshop. Now I can speak pretty, guys, are you seeing my Glow workshop screen? Oh, Karen, you're muted, babe. Okay, hold on. So I can speak in pretty big manifesting confidence that this is also what you're going to get when you show up to the corporate one, because they took ours and they used it. And that's such a nice compliment, right? We created it, Melissa funded, they had me present it out on the behalf of our org at the Olive Star retreat, which was a huge honor. And really what's so cool about it is that Thomas has looked at this. Thomas has said this is what it is, but also all of us who have thousands of events of experience under our belt have used this and have benefited from it. So this is just the intro slide. We'll present that, and then we're going to share with them, if we have an offering, what that offering is. So on this particular slide, you're going to see the offering for the brain quiz in this particular month was the F59. We will adjust that to whatever it is. We also did a drawing that if people placed an order by midnight, then I did a drawing, and whoever's running it did a drawing for the gift card. Now, what does that involve? That involves each of you sending your list of who ordered to the person who's running the event. And then, guys, I believe in doing a video, like let's say, for example, Melanie's running the event, doing a video, having those little pieces of paper, throwing them into a bucket in front of everyone. And that's what I did when this event, I threw them all in there and then did a drawing right in front of everyone. Hey, here's Lisa's name, here's Linda's name. Because I know it's kind of an icky feeling when we do something like that. And you can share that during this presentation. You know, Melanie's going to do a drawing, we'll share the video just so that they don't feel like they're being scammed, and that they understand what that is, because we all know there's lots of scams out there right now. Talk a little bit about the founder. This entire presentation takes about 20, 25 minutes. So really what we say is exactly what is on this slide. Thomas started this company because he was passionate about healing himself. He had a condition and he needed to find a way to make himself better. And he did that with the elixir of the olive tree. And that's how we were birthed 22 years ago. You do not have to go and learn everything in the world about Thomas. If you know that one statement, that is enough. That is plenty. If more times than not, people are going to be sitting there with their phone Googling it as you talk anyhow, right? If they really want to know. If they don't want to know, don't keep going on and on because they just don't care, right? They might want to know a little bit, but they don't need like a whole storyline about Thomas. Oh, back up one slide. During the part where you share the special of the brain quiz, this is when you say to all the consultants who have guests on there, hey, all you consultants, all you Waterless Beauty consultants, text your link for your brain quiz right now to all your guests. Okay. And that's when everybody knows, all right, ladies, start your engine. Let's start shopping, or gentlemen, whatever the case is. All right. So then you talk a little bit Thomas. And then in this particular one, our value added proposition wasn't only our product, it was also that we have Melissa Ryan Hillman on, who is also an esthetician. So what we included in our invitation when I message people, and I'll just give you my example, hey, I thought of you. On Thursday night, we're going to have an esthetician on, and we're going to be talking about our product and how it can benefit you. I'd love for you to hop on. You can ask her questions, but you should also hear the story. And I think you're really going to love what this product does, right? So I pulled in a couple of different things. You do not need to have an esthetician on your call, but we had that, so we leveraged it and used it. So that was one of the things that we presented. Of course, on this slide, I would introduce Melissa, give her accolades, and then she would actually talk about why we're different. So why are we different? We're different because we're waterless. And then we go right into what that means to be waterless. Guys, I was so confused when they told me we were a lot waterless. I imagined this was going to be like a little powder. I had to add my own water. And there are products like that, by the way. So I wasn't exactly crazy. But then I explained to them what waterless means and why it's important to them. You know, and all the words are out there, but this is a really nice visual of the fact that the majority of your products, if you go into your bathroom, you look at the first ingredient, it's water. What Thomas wanted to do was remove the water and increase the active ingredient so that you got better results and you weren't paying for water. That actually allows your product to last longer and it allows to be more effective. Now, I got to say, when Karen Keeney did this a few weeks ago, her presentation and what she said about the product was amazing. So Karen, I don't know if you have those word choices or that recording, but if anybody wants to see it again, you can definitely share.
Yeah, I'll definitely look for the recording.
Okay, cool. And then we tell them how to shop, right? I don't know if you remember this part, but when you used to come to any event and people just start talking about products and you're like, I have no idea what she's talking about. So this is where you can say, hey guys, as you're on your friend's link, if you're sitting there shopping, there's 4 different categories underneath Oliveda. We also have a line of makeup called Olive Rose that's in development. So there's not a ton there, but go take a peek. We have LA Dope, which is a hemp line. You can go peruse through there. It's amazing. But in the Oliveda line, which is our core line, you're going to find products for your face, your body. You're going to find the internals, which is what Thomas used to get better. And then you're also going to find products for your hair. When you're in shopping, you'll see little numbers along with an F24. And I'm making that number up. I don't know if there is really an F24. We'll say F59 because that is a real product. The 59 is the order in which the product was created. If it is gold, that means it has more of our active ingredients. And if it's black, that means it has less. So for me, I use all gold because I'm all about the anti-aging. The more, the better. But if you have sensitive skin, you might want to think about that. Do your brain quiz. It'll tell you what you should order. But this is your guide for how to shop. And then the next slide is, let's talk about you. As you're sitting here tonight and you're listening to us, what are your biggest skin concerns? Or maybe you have concerns also with and guys, Julie does a great job of this, talking about the ingestibles. I tend to stay on the product for skin because that's where I'm more comfortable. But when Julie talks about the ingestibles, it is so much passion. And I got to share with y'all a personal story. If I've been feeling lousy, and those ingestibles have just been a lifesaver for me. When I take them, I feel it. And when I don't take them, I feel it. So consistency is king with our ingestibles. Take them every day. And that is actually how you get the best results. So if you're thinking, I have some acne, or my daughter was, here's a list of products for our acne line. Now, once again, we're going to refer you to the Olive Brain quiz where you can go in and dive in. And guys, I just want to take a break here. When Melissa comes on, she talks much more about the product than I do because she is an esthetician. But really what we want to get our guests to do is, as you're sitting here listening, put in the chat which of these three things you're the most concerned about. Put in the chat what you would like to know more about. Put in the chat what kind of product you're looking for. So you want to ask engaging questions as you're going through the presentation. Have you ever heard of Thomas before? Have you ever heard of the Olive Tree people? And that's really a two-man job, right? Somebody's kind of running the presentation, somebody's asking the questions. And in one of these, we did some engagement, actually a couple of them, where we drew names throughout the presentation for engagement. You can do that if you like, or you don't have to do that. What we found and what our goal was is to get people to ask questions, but you can just stop right here and be like, which of these three things is your biggest skin concern? And then you can say, oh, look, Tina said her biggest skin concern is anti-aging. Tina, would you like to share a little bit about that? And Tina might be like, don't turn her camera off and be like, and you're like, okay, next. But if she says yes, then she can say, oh, I'm this amount old, or I've used this product, or I've tried that, and I'm just really curious for the next. Are you looking for a serum? Are you looking for a moisturizer? But our basic goal here is just to let them know we have products that solve these problems. And then anti-aging, here's a really good list. And in this case, in all these lists, Melissa, as our esthetician, put these lists together. So this is kind of if someone's on and they're looking for, well, where do I start? What do I do? Like, go and click on these different products, see what you like. And then that way it kind of gives them some place to go, as opposed to, oh, I'm just on here guessing with a million different products that I don't understand. If you have discoloration, here are some products that are really effective. Does anybody have discoloration? We can go there. I have melasma. If you look right here, it's actually not a really cool contour stick. It really is melasma. And I do not say, promise, claim that this product solves melasma. However, I do look for things because melasma is actually a condition that we can't attest to healing, but there are products that help with discoloration that I would use on something that I might have, like discoloration. Now, as you're sitting here with us tonight and you're looking at all these amazing products, one of the things I want you to know is we have an evergreen special. When you buy 4, you get the 5th for free. If we were doing this live tonight, I'd be telling them about the additional 22% off. So there's always something going on as far as special goes. I encourage you, if you do this, you don't even have to make a slide. Someone can just walk through what the specials are. You can say, we got 22% extra off. It's for 24 hours. Hop in there. As far as we know, it's for 24 hours. A lot of times they extend them, of course. Whatever the special is, this is a slide where you would talk about that particular special. Buy the 4, get the 5th free. That means you have to have 5 things in your shopping cart, not 4, and we have to have 5 things in there, and then you get the least expensive one for free. I like to be really clear on that because people will get in there and be like, I have 4 in my cart, one's not coming off, and you're like, no, you have to have 5 in your cart to get the 5th free, and that's a great deal. So you might be looking through and you're thinking, holy cow, that's a lot of product. How do I use the product? And we do know, guys, that a lot of people are watching this presentation on their phone. So we have to be certain that we talk to the slide, right? We can't just assume that they're going to be able to see this slide on their phone, because I know I couldn't with my 55-year-old eyes. But really what this slide is about is how do we use our product? We start with cleansing and then we go thinnest to thickest. So we use a serum, we use a moisturizer, and then, I'm sorry, we use a cleanser, a toner, a serum, a moisturizer, and then we can wrap it up with some of our bonus products like our lip balms, auto mask. There's so many additional things. But if you're looking for 5 products because you're like, all right, I want to get that deal, then you want to start with a cleanser and then go to a serum or go to a toner, then go to a serum, and then go to a moisturizer. I use an eye cream. Maybe they want to do a mask. I will share with you that the lip balm is, I think, the least expensive thing. So I always tell people, like, don't add a lip balm because then you're not getting your best value. Like, get things that are kind of around the price range. Of course, if you use a brain quiz, you're going to get a product for free based upon what that is. So you're sitting here and you're wondering, where do these women come from? They're all doing this, they're all having fun. And then you could just say, as consultants, we do get the best price. So if you're sitting here and you're thinking of a bunch of people that you want to share this with because you think they might like it, or you might be thinking that you want to buy more than maybe what your budget would allow, we do start with a 25% discount right off the bat. And then, of course, whatever in addition to that the company's offering, we usually get that in addition. There's many different ways you can hop on board with us, and these are the big bad kits. One of our favorite ways for consultants to join right now, if you're looking at it going, is you can build your own bundle. That means you can go in and shop your way through what you want to start using your product, and maybe it's those 5 magical products. And when you hit $300, you get 30% off. And in Canada right now, you actually still get your free enrollment, I believe, until August 15th. So if you're talking to some of our Canadians, that's really cool. It is a $50 enrollment in the US, but like I said, it's free in Canada or until the 15th. These are a few more of our kits. Dip Your Wrinkles. All of these are available on the website. So in closing, what we would do there is then just, hold on, this is always tricky because I lose everybody. I would just simply stop the share, put everybody up on the screen, and then just go to a personal thank you for coming, all of those kind of things, remind them of the specials, and then just see who has questions, right? Like, hey, where's everybody from? Those things can happen in the beginning. We had what was called an olive fairy in one of ours. It was Dina Breslin, who is super dynamic. And I know Karen used Shonda, who was also amazing. I think Stacia, Stasia. I always have to say Anastasia to get Stasia's name pronounced right. It's my little brain trick with your name. You did one as well, and that's just really about giving the presenter the room to slide through the slides, and then that's kind of, what is that called, Melanie? When the word sounds like the action. I always go to my teachers for my literature, but then you can also have some fun with it. So I just wanted to share with you what the deck looks like, what we do. We have had people say sometimes, oh, it's really fast. We're trying to respect time. We're trying to respect for the people who want to get in. And we also know that if you promise them it's going to be a 30-minute call and it goes longer, then that makes you break your promise to them. And we don't want to make you look bad. So we try to keep to that time, give them enough information that they're curious, because we're not the open and the close of the sale. We're the little bit of information and you're the close and the connection. So, all right, I'm going to breathe. Everybody, you can ask questions, anything you're curious about the presentation or how it works or anything at all. It doesn't even have to be about the presentation.
I did just post the Canva link in our messenger chat for you. And if you just would please make a copy of the slides, and then you can create a new slide deck and just paste it in. That way it doesn't change Mary's original slide deck. That'd be great.
Yeah. And this is floating out there everywhere. So Melanie, are you guys doing one of these at some point? I know there's a company one, and then I believe you're doing one as well. I'll do another one in addition to that. So we'll
Do you
have
have the date for the one that you're doing in addition to?
Well, we're gonna do two, a day one and a night one.
Okay.
I want to confirm that the company, I think we're only gonna do one now since your legs doing another, but I need to confirm the date of the company with Liz. Does anybody else see that date out there anywhere?
We heard a little August 22nd, but I haven't seen anything confirmed or posted about it. Maybe they'll talk about it tonight on the Synergy call. I'm hoping.
Awesome. Yeah. So we will get dates and get them in there. I'm not, sorry guys, I'm not watching the chat. If there's questions in the chat, I apologize.
I don't see any questions in the chat. We're good.
Oh, yeah, you got the Canva link. All right, Ira. All right, guys, I'm going to stop recording so we can keep this fresh for everyone. Thank you for being on.